Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Coffee with Cosentino. Today I have Fran Volpe, co-founder of Why Not You Media. Welcome, Fran. Thanks for coming
Joe,
on.
thank you for having me.
Pleasure. The roles are reversed. Usually you're interviewing me.
Yeah.
Today I'm going to interview you.
Yeah, definitely something to get used to.
Good. It's a pleasure having you here.
Thank you for having me.
Good. So tell us about your family, your background, where you came from, where you grew up.
Yep.
Where'd you start your career?
Yeah, so my entire family well, most of them are from Yonkers. My dad, my grandparents all grew up in Yonkers. My mom was from Harrison. Her parents were from the Bronx. But growing up, I grew up right in Mamaroneck, New York, which is not far from here. That's where, before that, I lived in Eastchester for a small stint. We made the move to Mamaroneck, went to Mamaroneck Avenue School.
What age was that?
I moved going into fourth grade, so about 9 years old.
Relatively young.
Yeah, so about 9 years old, my mom made the decision because I couldn't decide at that age. So we went to Mamaroneck Avenue School, went to Homix Middle School, and then eighth grade, I made a decision to go to Fordham Prep. I told my mom, I was just like, I want to go to Fordham Prep, and I never forget the look she gave me when we were driving the car. She was like, "Really, Fordham Prep? Why?" And I just told her, I said, I feel something is going to be really good that comes out of there. And I had two friends on my hockey team that went there, and they were saying, "Fran, you should come check out the prep." And I went for one of those, shadow days. And I was just like, I really love it here. I got to know the hockey coach, met the football coach, all that stuff, and went to Fordham Prep, and that's where I met Tony. Tony and I went to Fordham Prep together. And
Another Bronx guy.
yep. Yeah, he's one of the co-founders as well. And, from there, I got a scholarship to play football. Went to Assumption University. Well, it's Assumption College at the time.
Yeah.
Now it's Assumption University. Got to play 4 years of Division II football.
Nice.
And then from there, I graduated, and the first thing I did was insurance. Got into sales. Wasn't really for me. It just wasn't about it. And then during that time, though, ironically, I was trying to get Tony to join forces into the insurance world. And then I ended up breaking my leg severely. I have a plate and 9 screws in my left leg.
Wow.
And during that time, Tony was growing Instagram accounts. I got involved in that with him.
What year was this about?
2000, about 2018, 2017,
Relatively,
something like that. Yeah, about 5-6 years ago, and I was helping him with that. But then life happened, and he was in construction. I got involved in the mortgage world, and I was also doing professional stunt work for
Wow.
television and movies, and that's kind of what sparked my love for creativity and content.
Yeah.
And from there, Tony started a networking group called Diamond Networking, and that was every Wednesday. I would go, and there would be a bunch of people,
Right.
at first, and then as networking events, things start to
Get
simmer
smaller
down,
and
get
smaller,
smaller. And we decided to close the doors,
Right.
and it was myself, Tony, and Michael.
Yeah.
And we said to ourselves, what can we do together? We all have this similar mindset, and we at first wanted to do events. We were like, oh, let's do mindset events. Let's do events that bring people on stage, and they can't solicit. There's no selling.
Right.
And they have to just give people.
Just kind of like out there talking to the public.
Yes.
Like talking to the people that
But
come
really
to
trying to deliver value.
Right.
Really trying to help people.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh, that's great. Young kids. We were like, oh, that's a great idea. But
How are we going to make money out of this?
Exactly. How are we going to fund this stuff?
Because it's
And
expensive to do that.
it is.
Getting the place, setting it up, paying for staff and
Speakers
food
and food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So
not cheap.
we were like, all right, how are we going to fund this? And I remember looking at Tony. I'm like, we can do a media company. And he looked at me like I had 10 heads. And I was like,
I was like, Fran, what are you talking about?
Exactly. And I was just like, well, you've been growing a brand. You got about 24,000 followers at the time. I go, we could teach people how to do this. I have a buddy that works for a marketing company down in Florida, but he works remote. Let's bring him in and let's pick his brain. And that's exactly what we did.
So your occupation now, basically, I mean, you went through, you went to college, you graduated. What was your degree?
Business management with a minor in marketing.
Okay, and so you have the marketing background and you have the management background.
Yeah.
So you definitely need some sort of college to run a business. I'm not saying you need a degree, but you need some sort of business sense or marketing ideas to kind of help you through business. You can't outsource everything. You
No,
got to
you
come
can't.
up with some ideas.
Yeah,
So
of course.
your occupation, obviously, if you would, what is your occupation?
So what I am is what people would categorize as a digital marketer. We are a full service digital marketing agency from consulting, paid advertisement, website development, and content creation. So we help individuals like yourself, small business owners, large businesses, so on and so forth, help navigate, the treacherous waters of digital marketing in the digital world, because for a lot of people, whether you're just starting out or you've become very successful, it's so new
It's hard.
and it's
And
difficult.
what works, what's good, what the audience, what's something I might like, my audience might not, or my clients might not like.
Exactly.
So that's where we have the collaboration. But how do you see your business benefiting the community or the people that watch or tune in, say my clients? How do you feel your business benefits your clients or the public?
So, like our business is kind of like a twofold, if I were to describe this correctly. We have Why Not You Media, where we're working with our clients to help them get their knowledge and their personalities and what they offer out to the world at scale, right? We want to distribute across all these different platforms.
So me as a realtor, you know, people might not know I'm a realtor, but they might not see all the things we do in the behind the scenes
Yeah.
and the drive arounds and the
Exactly.
walkthroughs and the closings and
Yep.
all the behind the scenes stuff.
Exactly. And so for someone like yourself being in real estate and have built a brand over the years that you've been in the business, we're now helping you stay as front and center as possible, because attention is on the phone, it's on social media. And it's almost like a touch point for you, where you don't have to, yes, obviously that phone call and that text message, that email goes a long way, checking in with clients.
Sure.
But now all of a sudden you're on Facebook, you're on YouTube, you're on Instagram, you're on TikTok, you're on all these different major platforms, where now if a client is to sign on and they see your face, they're like, oh, there's Joe.
Right.
And they don't forget you, because it leads to referral business, it leads to new business.
Unless they see me dancing on
Yeah.
TikTok.
Yeah. But that
Oh,
shows
I saw you dancing.
shows your personality though, right? You still got moves. So
Hopefully.
so that's the one side of our business. It's just how, and then also, I'm not going to get too technical, but when you run into the paid advertisement side, it's, there's different aspects to that: lead generation, partnered with or paired with creative or brand awareness. That gets super complicated. But then there's the other side of the Why Not You side for our business. And it's something that I feel when I get interviews and stuff, I have to talk more about as well, because this company was named by my mom. And that is a big deal to me, to Michael, and to Tony. And we really live by, why can't you become the next big thing? Or why can't you make a difference? And the way that we embody that is...
So why not you? He did it. Why
Exactly.
not you?
And we really built something where we're very relationship driven. How we can help people, who we can connect people to, is something that we truly embody. And we do things like just connections, like if you need a connection. And we also have our golf outing. We're having our second annual golf outing. And last year we had, over 250 people. We had a vendor on every hole. We had vendors during cocktail hour, during dinner, and it was an amazing event. And
Yeah,
this year,
I was there. It was amazing. I've been to a lot of golf outings, play golf, and it was a great event.
Yeah.
I mean, you had so much. It was like so much support.
yeah, it was unbelievable. And that was all for the Wounded Warrior Project. And we raised a lot of money for them. And
Which is a great cause, great charity. I support them as well.
Yep.
I feel that anything we could do to help our veterans, especially
Oh, of
wounded
course.
veterans, raise money, support. It goes a long way.
Of course. And this year we partnered with Blythedale Children's Hospital, and we're going to give back to their hospital.
Nice,
And
which is another
yeah,
great cause. Children in need of medical attention and surgeries and support is
and that's a big deal for us.
deal.
We really want to show people that no matter what your position is, whether you are just coming up and building something or you are successful, there's people out there that need help there. And why can't you help them? Why can't you make a difference? And you probably see this in business all the time. People do a lot of talking, but they don't do a lot of doing. And we wanted to make sure that if we're going to say we're going to help people, we're going to do it at the highest level possible.
Yeah, I mean, myself, obviously, when I first met you guys, yes, I was on social media. Yes, I did my own social media, but it wasn't easy.
No.
Every day I'm working, I'm selling houses, I'm showing, I'm negotiating, I'm doing business. Oh, I forgot to post, or oh, I forgot to make a video. Like, it's a lot.
Yes,
And
it is.
if you're busy, I mean, if you're a realtor and you just got a few deals, all right. But I knew I needed to do something different.
Yep.
And you guys have helped me tremendously. I refer you other clients, you refer me
And we
clients.
always appreciate
and
that.
we always go back and forth.
Of course.
You guys have a really good way of doing business. It's a
appreciate that, Jeff.
relationship business.
Big time.
So I'm a big relationship person, as you know. And you can't please everyone all the time.
No.
But if you work with your clients and you're pleasing your clients and they're referring you to other clients, obviously you're going to continue to grow your business. And the digital, the marketing, the advertising helps, but you can't just rely on that.
No.
You need the personal relationships.
Yes.
And you need that experience. So some people might say, oh, they're not in business long enough, but you have enough experience to say, well, we have a lot of experience. So
Yeah. And you hit the nail on the head with that. It's you don't want to be just reliant on what you're doing on social media, and you have to be the person that's on social media, but making the phone calls.
Here's our print
Yeah,
stuff. I mean,
like,
you see it all the time.
You're the perfect example of this, and I use you as an example, and I'm not just saying this because you're sitting here, but I use you as an example all the time when I speak to people about what omnipresence actually means, because you're doing something from, like you just mentioned, you have these mailers, you're doing magazines, you do billboard, you do the shopping cart, you do social media, you're at networking events, you're at dinners, you're doing the phone call, the check-ins, the charity work. Like, there's nothing that you're checking off all the boxes, but you're doing them at a high level. So when things like right now, like
working
and
running a business
and
a home,
exactly,
and
you
a
have kids
family.
and a family and a wife, but people don't realize is that when markets take downturns and you're still doing all this, when the market starts to come back, who are people going to think of? They're going to think Joe Cosentino, Morris Park Realty. That's the important part, because obviously every business is going to have lulls, but why, when it comes back, not be the person everyone thinks of?
That's stay relevant.
Exactly.
And
Front
stay
and center.
top of mind and make sure that when the business does pick up, you're there to front and center to grab that new client or help the existing client.
Yeah, or when people that you already know people that have been interested in buying but are waiting for potential market changes, they're going to be like rates, prices,
timing, job changes, whatever.
They think of you.
Right.
That's the name of the
That's
game,
what
right?
we want. That's it.
We
don't want to lose any business.
No.
Especially when it's a past client.
Yes.
Or a relative or a niece or a nephew or a child.
That is so
that
important.
To me is if I could help a client's child buy a house or be their first time homeowner, I feel like I've achieved something great.
Well, I think also, like, when it comes to marketing, people are always thinking about the cold audience and people that don't know them. And then you mentioned family. You're putting up content, posting content, whether it's the podcast, ride-arounds, things like that. But, like, it's also reminding your friends and family what it is that you do, so they constantly see you. You know how many times you probably have stories of knowing people, or even yourself, where you go somewhere and a family member or a friend has bought a home or sold a home and they didn't use you because they actually forgot what you do, but
or didn't think I covered that area. They
Yeah.
might not live in the Bronx.
Yeah.
You know, the upper Westchester or Long
But you cover it
Island.
all.
Yeah.
So it's
It's
important to
like, oh,
put.
I didn't think you covered my area. Like,
But I'm a real estate agent, and you have to remind people and also letting people know the areas you do cover. So it's an all out war when it comes to marketing because you don't want to
and what's
lose.
right? What do I spend my money on? I mean,
Yes.
I'm getting constantly bombarded. I'm sure you guys do. Oh, this is the new latest and greatest marketing. You
Yeah.
know, you got to go this way. You got to do this.
Now
You
it's
got to
AI.
AI. What's AI? You know,
Yeah.
people are talking about AI all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, I use AI in my website, but obviously it's limited.
Yes.
Because what happens is, so if a client hits my website, it'll pick up what they're looking at.
Yep.
You know, what's their search? You know, what are they looking for? A house? Are they looking for a rental? Are they, you know, how many? What area? And it'll talk back to them. But
Wow.
it's kind of robotic. It's not me.
Yeah.
And they're like, Joe, is this you? It doesn't sound like you. And AI, it doesn't have. I'm sure at one point it will be.
Probably.
But right now, you know, you still need to pick up the phone. I tell all my agents, all the young generation that want to text and you know, DM and talk through Instagram.
Yeah.
You need to pick up the phone and call. Like you
have
need
to.
to have that phone call with, you know, they're buying a house. They're not buying something that's cheap.
It's not a toy.
It's not a toy. It's not, you know, a suit that you
Yeah.
could just return. You're buying a house. It's probably their biggest, you know, purchase in the history of their lives.
Yeah.
And they might only do it once. Not a lot of people move too often. You know, maybe they buy a house, they stay 10, 20 years now. Before you stayed 5 years.
Yep.
So you got to really make sure you're calling and talking to that person.
It's so important to any business, especially in any like deal with so many professionals and people in professional service industries, and it's all about relationships. You're in a relationship business. If you don't have relationships, if you're not picking up the phone,
There's no business.
there's no business. People want to hear your voice. Like imagine you just spoke to a client the whole time during email or text. They would feel like that you don't care. Like you said, it's some people's biggest purchase of their entire lives, and there's no going to the store and returning it.
No, that's it.
It's
Once
not like
you
I
bought
don't want it
you're in.
anymore.
There's no,
Take it back.
I mean, you could sell it, but you might not make the money. You know, it takes a long time for real estate to make money.
Yes.
You know, we talk about you obviously you want to buy, invest. You want to. You're always talking about how do I better myself.
Yep.
And real estate is a long-term play.
Yep.
So if you're thinking, oh, I'm going to buy this house and make 200 grand, yes, it does happen. But you might catch a market like we're in now,
Yep.
where we might not have a growth period. It might take 2-3 years.
Yes.
So it might stay stable. It might even drop because it is an investment.
It is. It's delaying your gratification. We've talked about that plenty of times off camera, that if you're going to invest, it's understand that it's going to take time to get back your investment. And sometimes you might not get it back and it's going to be for your kids. It's a great way to leave a legacy. And that's super, that's something that's near to my heart. You know, I want to make sure that when the time comes, I'm only 29 years old,
Yeah.
but you have to think about your future self. And
Set yourself up now.
yeah, you have to. I want to make sure that, you know, when I'm 45, 50 years old, I made all the right decisions. And when I have kids, it's like, hey, this is going to be yours one day, you know, and pass it down.
So what do you do for fun? Obviously work.
Yeah.
You work a lot.
Yes.
I see you do snack time.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of work.
Yeah.
I know you play golf. I know you like golf, but what's your really I know you work out in the gym.
Yes.
Tell us what your real recreational, like, what do you love to do?
So there's a bunch of things I love to do. You know, you mentioned a few of them. I love working out. But there's not one particular thing. You know, I'm an avid reader. I love to read. All genres of literature. I'm actually, like, growing up, a lot of people that know this, but like I was a huge gamer and still am. I love to play video games. I love to do that in my downtime, just when it's just me and I'm able to sit and just be on my own. But something that I've always loved to do is travel. Traveling has always been super important to me. I got to see my grandparents do that. My nana and my grandfather traveled literally the world.
That's awesome.
And I got the chance when I was 10 to go to South Africa with them.
Wow.
And that kind of really sparked me. And I was just like, I need to one day go see the world. I have to do this. So Hobby wise though, and I still play like recreational football, still play like flag football and things of that. I'm into so many different things. I love to be active, and
But
I
when
also
you're in your 20s, you could play
yeah,
that. When you get into your 40s and 50s,
yeah, maybe not
you'll
so
be playing
much.
more golf.
Yeah, and I love golf. Golf, I every time I'm out there, I always say I wish I started playing when I was younger because there is something about being on a golf course, beautiful weather, and whether you smoke cigars or drink, it doesn't matter. It just there's something about being on that golf course and being with your friends, joking around, even if you're playing serious or messing around.
Oh, we're always
Oh,
competitive. We're not,
yeah,
PGA players, but we
no.
want to be competitive.
Yes, it just there's something about it. That's something that I truly like. I could play golf like at one point we were playing, 2 to 4 times a week,
Yeah,
just taking out clients and playing. But golf has definitely become a big hobby of mine.
great. And what are your sports teams? What do you like? I mean, obviously, Yankees.
Yes, Yankee fan. I am a diehard Jet fan. My mom,
It's kind of hard right now,
it
but
is, it
if you get
is.
Rogers,
Yeah, and, like
might
look, that's
help
a
a little bit.
that's a conversation in its own. But my mom had me bleeding green since I was little, watching Vinny Testaverde, Chad Pennington, Curtis Martin, all those guys play, Wayne Corbett. But I'm a huge Jet fan, Yankee fan. You know, I played hockey my whole life. The one thing is though, I never really watched too much of hockey, but I
Right.
consider myself a Ranger fan. That's who I'd cheer for. Um, like the Knicks, but the main sport is football. Like
Like
I'm,
myself, we're
yeah,
big football.
yeah. That's every Sunday. I gotta be watching. The Jets have to be on,
That's it.
especially they're doing better. Like
Yeah.
I even watched when they
Their
sucked.
defense is good. They got a good D.
Now it's just
And
let's
now
I'm
it's just got to get
praying
the
to the football
quarterback.
gods
Yeah,
we get
and
Aaron Rodgers.
they got good receivers. So
Look,
hopefully
we are putting together a great team.
this will be the year.
Yeah, if we get Aaron Rodgers, things change. But you read some of these
I
headlines,
know.
and it kind of puts a dagger right in the heart.
So what do you see yourself in 5 years? What are your goals? What are your dreams? Obviously, we all have goals. We all have dreams. Where do you see Fran and why not you in 5 years?
So I'll start with Why Not You Media. So Why Not You Media, I see us continuing on this journey of working with, highly successful individuals and businesses and helping them navigate and take over digitally like they have offline. That's something that we're extremely passionate about. I'm extremely passionate about. For myself, I want to continue podcasting. Podcasting is something that being able to host our own podcast and be on podcasts, absolutely love speaking with people.
That's great.
It really is just a great time in learning about somebody.
Well, that was my reasoning for the
Yeah.
podcast. I put it as a goal. I said I'd like to have a podcast. We were
Yep.
doing some great videos, and I said, let me start bringing people in and talk about, how we could help the public. And so people are like, what's this whole podcast? Like they don't understand
Yeah.
what the purpose of the podcast is. And it's a little fun
Yeah.
to have people. We don't have to be traveling all
No.
around, and you get to learn more. Like you said today,
Yeah.
like I didn't know you bought the business or the name. Like
No.
I didn't know how you guys. I just thought Morris Park Realty was always there.
Yeah.
Conti's,
Yeah.
I learned a lot about both your guys and we're your clients.
Yeah.
So imagine with the public,
Exactly.
they don't know
They
half
don't know
the
that
things
stuff.
you know.
And like podcasting is just you learn so much about a person and their mindset, and it just changes because you can have that stuff off camera, but now you get to film it and watch it back. But I would like podcasting is something I want to do for the rest of my life, and also speaking. I just love being in front of people and talking and adding value. But then also from the Why Not You Media side, the Why Not You side, we're going to continue to grow this golf outing.
Yeah.
We're going to continue to throw events and support and help in any way that we can.
So your event speaking business is going to pay off in the future.
Yeah, exactly. I hope, we trademark is that this golf outing is the best outing in the tri-state area. And we really plan on taking this thing every year up a notch. Because it's not just, it's bringing people together for a cause. That is what it's all about. That's really where I see us. It's just staying on this trajectory and just staying focused, pushing through all the adversity and the obstacles because there's plenty more to come.
Sure. Tough
all-
times ahead. You might not have, so many people to work with.
Yeah.
You see people dropping out of every industry.
Yep.
real estate, mortgage, banking, insurance. Like you said, you were in the insurance business. I,
Yeah.
I can't even, half of my friends when we graduated college were in insurance.
Oh, yeah.
None of them are still, probably, maybe one is still in the insurance business.
Yeah, all these businesses right now, we see it all the time. People getting laid off or people changing jobs, and it's definitely scary. You hate hearing it,
Right.
but like anything, my grandma used to always say, "This too shall pass," and knock on wood, that it does.
You will be set up to handle the business as it comes. So
Yeah.
if the public wants to reach out to Why Not You, what is the best way? So if it's a business owner who's not really in, like they ask me all the time, I don't really have a social media. I don't have an Instagram
Yeah.
page. I'm like, well, you need to get an Instagram page.
Yeah.
Build up a little following, have some budget money put aside, and then call them. But you
Yep.
need to have something.
So with us, we've worked with people that don't even have the Instagram page and don't know how to post, to the people that have everything and are doing great but want to take it to the next level. But to reach us, you can on Instagram, you can go to YNOT While You Media, Why Not You Media. Follow myself on Instagram, Francis Volpe. Shoot me a DM. You can email us. If you go to our website, whynotyoumedia.com, our information is right there.
But they can't call you.
They could call. They could call. 100%. You could call, text, but it's always great if you're introducing. You can send an email and we set up a time to speak about how we can help you.
Great. Well, thanks for coming on.
Thank you for
Continue
having me,
great
Joe.
success and health, you and your family. I appreciate it. Thank
Appreciate
you.
it. And if you need help with real estate, reach
Joe
out to Joe.
Cosentino, Morris Park Realty, and Westchester Realty Consultants, New York, Connecticut, and Florida. Have a great day. See you next time.